but they really.
I'm a probably twist and turn like Inferno. They keep on blaming the media.
Good morning.
Blaming the government. You say you want freedom, do you really know? You give them.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Money coming in different ways. Don't say you're poor.
Don't say you helping the kids and then you close the door.
You ain't no better than politicians, you hypocrites.
Facts. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All this talking you're saying, it ain't saying much. Hey,
it's beyond their ability.
Is it really though?
They say they care.
They do. They set the world on fire, they let it burn slow. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing?
They set the world on fire, they let it burn slow.
That's right. Good morning.
Shake it all about. You do this hokey pokey, then it break you on.
Oh my God, it's glitch top. Hey.
Humpty Dumpty, sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty, he had it.
Good morning. Good morning, Venus.
Together again. Don't be so basic and practice on your greatness. Life don't work like that. Gotta be amazing. I've been
all right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Incognito
on top right now. I know I'm your favorite. This is hip hop and politics and relevance. This ain't J6, but it's an insurrection.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what we are here to do. All right, DJs, let's move it along. All right. All right, showtime, ladies and gentlemen. No, I don't want to do any battling. Yes, I don't want to battle at all, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you know why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. Curly, good morning. I hope you got your notepad out, all right, because another lesson's about to be taught. No, there's not going to be a Trump 2024. You know exactly where I stand on that, all right? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go! Good morning, Shay, the beautiful Shay. How are you doing?
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage, full of gas. Let's go. What y'all know about that, all right? JD Rockefeller stuff. Y'all don't know about that, all right? Good morning, Miss Boss Diva. Y'all don't know anything about the Carnegies? All right, let's go. I got this. Let's go. Woo! They don't get replies if they text me. I say it with my chest because I mean it. Wait a second. Hold on.
Take off in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Yes.
Shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, you've gone.
Zeus is going way off the rails. Cut it out, conservative.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Cut it out.
It's like deja vu.
All right, DJ, go ahead and cut the music off. Cut the music off. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the Thunderdome. I'm your host, and I am your pilot, and you know exactly why we are all here once again on this lovely Tuesday morning, a Tuesday morning where we all can rest, have a peace of mind knowing that Donald J. Trump is right where Joe Biden and his DOJ wants him, right? Sitting in a courtroom freezing to death. All right, now you know exactly why we are here, but before we get started, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, no, I'm not China Zeus. No, I go by the name Zeus, or as some say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. All right, and you can ask any Trump supporter this, and they'll say, yes, it's true. The first H stands for honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? You might as well imagine that my hand is resting on a stack of Bibles, not the Bibles Donald Trump sells, but the regular ones, all right? Because that's how honest I am. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me on social media. If I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize, but just because your feelings are hurt, it does not mean I owe you an apology, because guess what? That's what the truth does sometimes. Sometimes the truth will hurt you, all right? And I'm bringing a whole lot of that with this heavy hammer of mine over here, all right? And then the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed it. It's because I am and will always remain what? The most handsome. Good morning, Hector. All right, now many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of town, on this side of TikTok. What we do is very, very, very special, all right? We hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds and crimes. I'm not letting up on MAGA. I don't care. We're going to make sure this thing gets put to bed at the end of the day, right? And so listen up, you Trump supporters. You might want to leave this live because what we do is bring an overwhelming amount of truth and facts. And I know a lot of you are, as my good friend Brother Swervin likes to say, you're factose intolerant. You know, this guy out here named Curly. Right? And these people coming into my chat and they're spamming all of these lies and misinformation about me. These people are factose intolerant. That means they are allergic to the facts. You know what happens when you show facts? They start to engage in what I call sign language, right? What is that? That's the shame, the insults, the guilt, and the need to be right. Yeah, because they don't have really anything to offer, and they know the party they represent is running on absolutely nothing. It's running on fumes. It's running on hatred. It's running on corruption, and then it's running on evil. All right, and so listen up, you Trump supporters. If you don't want to have your breakfast ruined, because I'm going to ruin it, if you don't want your mood to go from being happy to sad, you might want to leave this live and go on about your miserable morning. All right, you go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts. You know who they are, those fake TikTok attorneys and those fake TikTok lawyers, because it is about to get very, very uncomfortable. But get this, you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Right.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. All right. If you are not happy in the United States of America at this point, I would encourage you to pack your bags and leave. A lot of people have this misconception about the United States of America, and it's starting to really become crystal clear to Zeus that a good chunk of you out there, it would do you some good to actually go start from when the United States was founded and then just actually learn how we got to where we're at. Because if you leave it up to Donald Trump, you're going to be led down a nasty, nasty, nasty path that ends with you getting the ultimate MAGA reward, right? And we all know what the ultimate MAGA reward is, right? Jail, and if you don't get your soul right, hell, with a chapter 11 in between. And you know what? You know Donald Trump's little hostages, the ones that are sitting in prison, you know, waiting for Jesus, aka Orange Jesus, to show up and to deliver them out of bondage. You're right, you know those folks. Donald Trump is on his way to joining those people, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is back in court today, like I said. And I ran across a nice little interesting piece, all right, from a good person out there, Christy Greenberg, all right, and we're gonna let this play out, all right. This was on a good news network, you know, MSNBC, all right. I was watching it on the 11th hour, and I said, you know what? I think we need to go ahead and put this in the history books. Donald Trump must go to jail for willfully violating his gag order. How many of y'all think Donald Trump should go to jail? I know I do. Let's listen to what Christy has to say, all right, before we kick this show off, all right? And while she's speaking, you know how we do in the kingdom. Get those blueberries out, ladies, and get those tomatoes out, and get those booze and shame out, all right? Because once she's done speaking, we're going to give it to Donald Trump and his supporters, all right? So let's listen up.
It is very clear from the first hearing that Donald Trump is in contempt of his gag order. We all know that, right? He is not only posting on Truth Social, he's posting on his campaign website. He is flouting the order outside the courtroom, and he's targeting witnesses, he's targeting jurors, he is, you know, it's blatant. It's not just once, it's not just twice. I think we are now up to 13 violations. And it was clear that the judge said to defense counsel, you're not giving me anything to work with here, that there's any ambiguity, that this is vague. He knows what he's doing. So now once you have the fact that this is willful, and that he's willfully violating the order, it's clear that he should be held in contempt. Now what do you do about it? $1,000 per violation, that is a slap on the wrist. For somebody,
Not even a slap on the wrist. I mean, he's gonna blow his nose with it.
it's nothing. And the judge knows that. And I think the reason it's taking so long is the judge knows if he does that, it's such a cop-out. And even this other option, trying to come up with some third option that's not jail, is also...
Hold on.
Donald Trump needs to go to jail for this. Plain and simple. It's just too flagrant. It's too many times, in too many ways, targeting too many people, not just 3 different witnesses, jurors, multiple times before they were seated and now after they were seated. The judge has a hard job, he does, but this is a very simple question. It's clear that he violated it, it's clear that it was willful, and you gotta treat him the same as you treat any other criminal defendant. Any other guy who was outside the courtroom flouting the order would have been hauled into a jail cell the next day. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough, right? Anybody who was violating the gag order the way that Donald J. Trump does would definitely be in prison. All right. You know, this is the best way to describe it. How about we put him into custody so he can wait for his numerous trial like everyone else, right? You know what this means, ladies and gentlemen? I'm starting to really warm up to this idea that there just might be a 2-tier justice system. Not the one Donald Trump is complaining about. The one that we regular Americans have to sit back and watch be thrown in our faces. How come this orange lunatic gets to walk around this country and campaign to be president of the United States with 88 felony charges and these repeated violations of his gag orders? Surely there isn't a 2-tier justice system, or maybe there is, right? So guess what I'm going to need you all out there to do? Because we understand that Donald Trump supporters, they refuse to acknowledge this reality. They will sit out here and instead of pointing out this, you know what these knuckleheads, these knuckle draggers like to talk about? You know, they talk about ridiculous things like the economy. They want to talk about things like what's going on at the border. They want to talk about protests. You know, you want to talk about protests, MAGA? You know what I say? It all started with you on January 6th. When you showed the rest of the world that it's okay to assault our democracy, the jar has been open, all right? And so we're going to hold you accountable, MAGA, for everything that's going on right now in this country because of your blind loyalty to this orange lunatic. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters what they deserve once again, because they are constantly destroying this country from within and trying to blame everyone else. Join me in giving them our first honorable round of boos and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
There's no excuse for anybody to be supporting Donald Trump. All of you out there who claim to be Christians, and and you know what? There's a new thing going around. You know what these Trump supporters are doing? Shay, I don't know if you're here. Ange, I don't know if you're here. These Trump supporters are now trying to make up that they are smart. How do they make up that they're smart? They're out here on TikTok now saying that they got degrees. I'm on to this conspiracy. You know, Retribution came in here. He said he had 4 PhDs. And then I was talking to another individual. You got your degree. What is your degree? I got my degree in engineering. What type of engineer are you? I'm an aviation, blah, blah, blah. That's not a degree. That's a certificate. You Trump supporters, you got to understand this. You can't have this kind of intelligence and then still support Donald Trump. It contradicts itself, right? You know, like these TikTok lawyers and experts out there. Donald Trump is innocent. Well, if you believe Donald Trump is innocent and you have the legal argument, why aren't you his attorneys? It's because you're all a bunch of liars. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give all these Trump supporters that continue to make up all this stuff about themselves. They like to say they're handsome when they're not. They like to say that they have degrees when they don't. They say they're Christians and they're not. They say they're lawyers and they're not. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these liars another round of booze and shame. I don't believe them. I don't believe them because I know they follow this guy's footsteps. You know what they do? Like, they like to inflate the value of their assets until they get caught, right? And then they want to pass that off onto somebody. Oh, that wasn't me that inflated that. I just said it, and then my friend. Okay, yeah. We all know Donald Trump. He has a history of inflating the value of his assets. I mean, this is the same guy that lied and said he had a bigger crowd size than Barack Hussein Obama did. All right, after he won the election, which was a big lie. I'm pretty sure when we get into court and Stormy Daniels, I can't wait for Stormy Daniels to get up there. her and Karen McDougal, ladies and gentlemen, when they get on that stand, I guarantee you. You know how Trump is over there on Truth Social posting those poll numbers? You see how he's doing it right now? Oh, I'm loving every second of it. I'm loving every second of it because what's going to happen, Matt? Listen up, MAGA. Come real close. Snuggles won't tell you this. Once Stormy Daniels gets up there and she starts to give you the nitty gritty on what her and Donald Trump was doing behind Melania's back, and then Karen McDougal gets up there and puts the proverbial nail in the coffin. You know what those poll numbers that you've been watching on CNN are going to do? They're going to go, whoop. They're going And I'm going to be waiting for every single one of you MAGA demons to come into my show and tell me how much you love those poll numbers. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next topic. Trump is in a horrible mood as the hush money trial leaves him too livid to fundraise. Oh, you know how they say Trump is so wealthy, he doesn't need anybody's money. He's making money hand over fist, especially with his Truth Social platform.
Anybody would have known it, and the bank flagged it.
Carol, let's talk about defendant Donald. Your colleagues at the Post point out that more than anything...
Wait a second. Hold on. Did I just see something flash across my screen? Has Judge Juan Merchan just held Donald Trump in contempt for violating his gag order? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we are one giant, they say this is one small step, but one giant step for mankind. Oh, we are one step closer to Donald Trump going to prison. I have to read the details. I have to write the details, all right? I have to read the details. Let me see what we got going on over here, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like, let's see what the judge is going to have to say. Oh my gosh. It says, well, first of all, it's funny because it says even Trump can't stay awake this week. But I think after being found in contempt, I think Donald Trump is going to be fully alert this morning. Oh, let me see what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody go look that up, okay? I want to know how this is all playing out, what the charges and what the punishment is going to be. All right, okay. He fines Trump for violating the gag order 9 times. Oh, okay. Judge Juan Merchan has fined Trump for violating the gag order 9 times. Trump must remove 7 offending posts from Truth Social and 2 offending posts from his campaign website by 2:15 p.m. According to the order, he is warned by the court that it will not be tolerated to continue willful violations of its lawful orders and that if necessary and appropriate under circumstances, it will impose an incarceratory punishment. Let's go. Like I said, one step closer to putting this man in prison. Donald Trump, go ahead and post something on Truth Social and get this whole thing over with, all right? We would all love to see Donald Trump go to prison. All right. So let's get back to what I was saying. He's in a horrible mood today, all right? Okay, let's finish.
Carol, let's talk about defendant Donald. Your colleagues at the Post point out that more than anything else, This trial has taken away Donald Trump's control over his daily life, his comforts. This is a guy who's never even worked for anyone else or been on anyone else's schedule. How much is that affecting him?
Donald Trump hates it, absolutely hates it. I mean, this is a person who, when he was the president, Steph, in his first days in office, was able to basically blow through the norms of how a president normally operates every morning. They usually have a very early schedule. They start a presidential daily brief reading with their CIA briefer. President Trump said, you know what, I don't really feel like doing that. I feel like staying in my robe in my room for a few hours in the morning and calling all my friends and finding out how I'm doing politically and what they think about what I said on television the other day. He basically put off all the big responsibilities of being president to work on the political machinations of amping up his popularity. So this idea of him being in a room where he cannot speak or he's not supposed to speak, he has actually spoken a few times and gotten scolded by the judge for muttering under his breath about a juror, for talking out loud and out of turn. The idea that he's not only constrained to this room and constrained to these rules, but not able to speak up the way he's so used to doing and getting flattered every time he does, it's sort of sucking the energy out of him every day. And my colleagues report that he's in a horrible mood, and it's hard for him to sort of do donor events afterwards or talk strategy after the sessions in court because he's just so livid.
Carroll.
You hear this, MAGA? So let me break this down for you Trump supporters. He's not in a fundraising mood after he comes out of that courtroom. And you can understand why, because everything that he's going through in the courtroom is the worst feeling in his that he's ever imagined. He has to sit there and be told what to do. He has to sit there in the cold and fight staying up. All right. And so I got a question. All right. And this is And so, how you Trump supporters, y'all love to say Donald Trump is, being, mistreated and all of this. I got a question, all right? When are you Trump supporters going to tell Donald Trump that his public defenders are really public pretenders? Yeah. See, that's a little thing that we all know in the community, right? Those public defenders, they ain't really there to help you. They just there pretending. All they're doing is preparing you to go do some time. MAGA, when are you going to tell Donald Trump that all his attorneys are doing is preparing him for prison? Oh, Donald is a victim? Okay, yeah. You know what's going to happen, right, when he gets into prison? He's going to get in there and he's going to be around a community of other victims, and they're all going to go, I'm innocent. And you should see it. It's going to be a new song, right? I'm pretty sure Donald Trump has a new song coming out called I'm Innocent, where him and a bunch of other hostages in prison are going to all be singing together how they were somehow wrongfully prosecuted and how their public pretenders let them down. Yeah, I would be in a bad mood too, and I wouldn't want to fundraise if I were you. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump once again another round of booze and shame! Good morning, Jess.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Yeah. I just want to make sure I keep, beating this drum. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. While this country is experiencing a lot of complicated issues, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't pay attention to what's happening. I want to make sure you all understand that the alternative, which is obviously there's only two candidates, there's Joe Biden and then there's Donald Trump. If you really were to sit down and unpack the difference between these two, really think to yourself, can you really survive another 4 years of Donald Trump, all right, Jim Jordan, Marjorie Taylor Greene, James Comer, all of these MAGA Republicans, Matt Gaetz? Do you really think you can deal with that? I mean, And if you want to try to, I put a video up on my main account and I said, please explain to Zeus what makes Donald Trump a better president. And I never got one comment that actually came from a credible individual that was able to provide me with credible information to back up their claim. Because if I ask you, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? Everyone that's actually alert and cognizant and been paying attention, you have to admit, yes, I am better off than I was today. You know why? Because 4 years ago, interest rates were low, gas prices were low, inflation was down. Why? That's because for the most part, your special behind couldn't do nothing besides sit in your house like it was a prison. Now the country's reopened. We have the lowest interest rate, all right, amongst the larger other countries, right, the G8 nations. And look at that. You're still out here mumbling and grumbling and complaining about, President Biden. You want to complain about the border? Guess who made the border a bigger problem? The Republicans. All right. To me, there's really no other option. All right. It's either we're going to deal with the one we have in office, or we're going to go down a nasty, slippery slope with, you guessed it, Donald J. Trump. And I'll give you a good example of what I mean when I talk about slippery slope. All right. You hear these people out here saying, I was doing so much better under Donald Trump financially, right? But if you ask them how they were doing any other area, they probably say, I can't answer that. So let's talk about how you were doing so much better under Donald Trump, MAGA. Republicans are attacking President Biden for expanding the federal debt, and the House Freedom Caucus is livid that Speaker Mike Johnson has agreed to more funds for Ukraine, claiming it would expand the debt even further. Can we have some sanity here? Can we have a serious conversation about this? All right, RC Dubs, I know you're out here. The federal debt is a problem. This year, the United States will spend about $870 billion, or 3.1% of gross GDP, on interest payments on debt. That's more than the entire defense budget. But please, take a closer look. The major reason for the huge federal debt is Donald Trump's and George W. Bush's tax cuts, which together added $10 trillion to the debt since their enactment. They're responsible for a whopping 57% of the increase in the ratio of the national debt to the economy since 2001. Are you listening, Curly? Curly, are you listening? Get your ink pad out, all right, and start taking notes. Excluding the one-time cost of responding to the COVID-19 and the Great Recession, the Bush and Trump tax cuts account for more than 90% of the increase in the debt ratio. Let me say this again. To these MAGA demons. The Bush and Trump tax cuts account for more than 90% of the increase in the debt ratio. So when you hear these Trump supporters talking about how they were doing better, make sure you say 90% came from George Bush and Donald Trump. So all this nonsense about the Democrats goes right out the window. Most of the benefits of those tax cuts, not incidentally, have gone to, guess who? The rich. 65% of the benefits of the tax cuts have gone to the richest fifth of Americans. 22% to the top 1%. And as the federal debt has risen, most of the interest payments on it have gone to the rich too. Wealthy investors park their savings in treasury bonds directly or indirectly in treasury bonds held by mutual funds, hedge funds, pension funds, banks, insurance companies, personal trusts, and estates. Decades ago, wealthy Americans financed the federal government mainly by paying taxes. In the 1950s, the top marginal tax rate on the wealthy was above 90%. Even including all tax credit and deductions, it was higher than 50%. Since the Reagan, I got these people out here that said Ronald Reagan was such a great president, but we saw those interest rates, didn't we, Curly, under Ronald Reagan? Since the Reagan, who's a Republican, Bush, who's a Republican, and Donald Trump, who's a Republican and a traitor, tax cuts Though wealthy Americans have financed the federal government mainly by lending it money and collecting interest payments on those loans, profiting when the rest of us pay them back, which means a growing portion of everyone else's taxes are now paying the richest, all right, and the interest on those loans instead of paying for government services everyone needs. So the next time you hear Republicans, aka Trump supporters, or those so-called independents that always vote for Donald Trump, complaining about the federal debt and our swelling interest payments on it, remember that one, the debt has grown mainly because of Republican tax cuts. Two, those cuts have mostly benefited the rich. Three, the rich are now the major recipients of interest payments on the debt. And four, all those interest payments are crowding out spending on child care, elder care, affordable housing, better schools, paid family leave, and everything else that America needs. So Curly, stop spamming my chat and crying about the economy. 90% of this is on the Republicans' fault. All right, ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Curly and all of these other Trump supporters, you two conservative Democrat and your little minion retribution. All right, join me in giving them a round of boos and shame because they tried to trick us into believing it was the Democrats who've been ruining our country financially and economically when it's really been them the entire time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them some boos and shame. 90% of this is on you.
Silence! You never demon!
You know, there's a little thing that go, well, the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing you he doesn't exist, right? And I would like to say that's exactly what the devil is doing with the Republican Party. The Republican Party is doing an excellent job pretending like they have no involvement in the suffering that millions and millions of Americans are experiencing right now, all right? And they somehow, thank you, Rick, somehow they've convinced the so-called Christians, those with those 4 PhDs and stuff like that, somehow they've convinced them that all their suffering is coming from one man, Sleepy Joe, and the Democrats. It's not. This is what they've done, and they're hiding their hands, and we've exposed them once again. All right, now let's move it along. Let's talk about the Republican Party a little bit more, all right? How about this? A supreme failure. How the most corrupt high court ever is getting cover from the press. Ladies and gentlemen, we must once again, for those of you who are out here and you're frustrated with government, once again, if you really understood, and I'm saying this as a concerned citizen, if you really understood the cause of the problems you're complaining about, I guarantee you it would all go back to one of these Republican leaders that we had in office, all right? Whether it's Donald Trump, who we all know did the most damage in his one term, or you could go back to George Bush or Ronald Reagan, all right? And this, or now, just listen to this. On Thursday, we got confirmation that our Supreme Court is completely in the tank for Donald Trump and his repellent Republicans, and our country very well might not survive it. By having the audacity to even schedule oral arguments to consider whether one man in America can be granted immunity and is above the law that, hold on, okay, this rogue, corrupt judge, all right, is incinerating one of the most basic tenets of our democracy right in front of our eyes. This 6-3 conservative court is also making it plain to us in no uncertain terms that they believe themselves to be above the law that the rest of us must follow. They are flaunting the fact that they are completely untouchable and unimpeachable and can do whatever the heck they want to do. Yes, this is our Supreme Court, the one that Donald Trump is single-handedly responsible for. So brazen and corrupt is the reprehensible gang of sick. It is even going so far as to protect its own membership from criminality in the attack on the United States of America. We know that Justice Clarence Thomas's wife, Jenny, was hip deep in Donald Trump's violent insurrection on January 6th, and he is still shamelessly not recusing himself from this session. In fact, there has been no indication that he even gave this a whiff of consideration. This is patently absurd. There is no way in the world this ghastly man can be an impartial juror in a decision to consider whether Trump is immune from prosecution in his attack. His wife is in on the crime scene. For God's sake, she was messaging with the White House during the attack. Everybody knows it. You see, America, we are under attack. Donald Trump and his supporters, not just the ones that were at the Capitol on January 6th, we're talking about government officials from the Supreme Court all the way down, in Congress all the way down. These people are hell-bent on causing as much harm to the United States of America, not because they want something that we all want. For instance, if you go back to when this country was founded, we wanted independence, right? That's a good cause. We want independence. Or if you want to talk about we don't want slavery in this country, right? Those are legitimate causes. All right. And I respect that. I believe that's kind of one of the core things that makes us the United States is when there's a cause, you got to do what you got to do to right the wrong. But his supporters, you know what their cause is for all of you out there? You know what their cause is? To save Donald Trump. To save Donald Trump. What does Donald Trump need to be saved from? How does saving Donald Trump benefit all of us? It doesn't. They want to install Donald Trump. Yeah, you're right, Jess. They want to install Donald Trump as the first king of the United States of America, which is contrary to everything we've fought for as a country. If we wanted a king, we didn't need the independence battle. We didn't need all that George Washington stuff, Fort Sumter. We didn't need none of that Bunker Hill stuff. We didn't need to go to war with the British. We could have just said, we love having a king. We love taxation without representation. Right? But you and I both know that's not what the United States of America is about, which is why we have to constantly remind Americans Donald Trump and his supporters are the biggest threat to this country right now, whether you want to acknowledge this or not. All right. And so because of that, I need you all to once again join me in giving him and his supporters what they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump the Supreme Court Clarence Thomas, whose wife is a part of the crime scene. All right. And he's weighing in on this presidential immunity thing, which shows he's conflicted. Join me in giving them another round of booze and shame.
You MAGA demon!
Yeah. See, this is why I continue to bring the heavy hammer of truth down, because what I'm doing, that people go out there and they go, well, Zeus, you got TDS. All you do is talk about Donald Trump. You're darn right. I got to show the American people who he really is, not who he tries to portray himself as, all right? Not who you supporters try to sell him as, right? He's not no Christian just because he sold some Bibles. Wait a second. More black will vote for Donald Trump. Oh, bring that. Wait a second. Come on up here and talk to Zeus real quick. What is this? Bring that up here. I just sent you an invite. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you seem to have the scoop on what black people will do. Come on up here, Mr. Nasty. Oh, you know what it says? Oh, what is it? Mr. Slow. I'm going to call him Mr. Slow. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Slow is unable to come into the box. All right, Mr. Slow, come on up here and defend your position on what you believe black people will do. Please, Mr. Slow, don't get scared now. Don't get scared now. Go up here. Come on up here, Mr. Slow. Oh, well, guess what? You rejected my invite. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you what you deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Mr. Slow what he deserves. Another round of booze and shame. I knew you were just making stuff up. what I find hilarious, honestly? I mean, and you know, I get it. It's racist, but I'm going to call it a little on the hilarious side. Whenever I talk to these white conservative men on TikTok, they love to share these videos with me about race relations as if somehow they got the scoop. As if somehow they got the scoop and they're actually the voice of the streets. You're not the voice of the streets. You're not the voice of the community, you conservative nincompoops. All right? You stick to doing what you do, all right? You stick to putting the white hoods and the mask on and doing the little terrorist stuff that you do, but you don't know what's going on over here. Don't send me a video and tell me what I should be outraged about or what I shouldn't be, because it won't work over here. You stick to doing what you do. And that's being a little bit on the scary side, right? You see how I brought that knucklehead? I said, come on up here and speak on the black issues. And guess what he did? Yeah, butter and biscuits. I said, come on up here and speak on black issues. You nincompoop. Guess what he did? Nope, decline. That's why I said you ain't really about that action, so cut it out. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. Social media users. They're responding to a video Trump defending the nasty remark. You know, this is typical. This is typical, right? You remember this.
In this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you could do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
So, you know, what's fascinating, and the reason that I'm bringing this up, ladies and gentlemen, is because we have Christians out here defending this statement. Are there any women for Trump out there in the audience by any chance? Are there any women for Donald Trump out there in the audience? I'm just curious because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. Are there any women for Donald Trump out there? Because I would really. Oh, you're a man. Oh, you're a man for Donald Trump. All right. Tanner than you. I'm a man. Oh, not for Donald Trump. Okay, I got it. I guess. Okay, so it seems like we've kind of it's hilarious because normally I have an audience here where, you know, these ladies will go, yes, I love Donald Trump. I'm a woman for Trump. Oh, really? All right, let's have that conversation. I just sent you an invite. All right?
Hey, what's up? I'm a woman.
You are?
I am.
Okay, so how do you feel about Donald Trump, you know, making comments like this? I'm just curious.
If you honestly think that guys don't speak like that, you're ignorant.
Oh, but is it acceptable?
Yeah, 100% it's acceptable. He was having a private conversation, and he's right. If you have all the money in the world, you can just walk up to women and grab them by the pussy.
Wait. I'm going to need you to keep it clean on my show, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Okay. So you understand that is SA, correct?
It's only sexual harassment if they don't like it.
No, I didn't say harassment. I said SA.
Yeah, but it's only SA if they don't like it.
So you're okay. So what I'm gathering from you, and this is interesting, you're saying if Donald Trump were to go and grab you without your permission, it would be okay if you liked it.
If Donald Trump grabbed me and I would like it, it would be 100% fine. Yep.
Wow. I mean, and so basically, you take the position that what he did to E. Jean Carroll, you're
what
taking.
He did to E. Jean Carroll, dude. She can't even remember when or what happened. Like, come on, dude.
You know what?
You should be so.
You know what? You know what? Let me ask you a question. Are you a Christian by any chance?
No, I'm not.
So you're just a flat out demon. You're just a demon, right?
Flat out demon.
Has anyone ever done what Donald Trump has, done? Went and grabbed you by your nasty parts like that? By that
Why do you
region?
have such a
But
problem with it? Maybe you're guilty of it.
I'm not guilty of it. I'm asking you. Has anyone ever
Doth
done that to
protest
you?
too much, sir.
Hmm?
Doth protest too much.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Doth protest too much.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? What is your name? What do you go by out here on these TikTok streets?
Swayed.
Swade. You know what I'm going to do for you? Because I can't allow folks
Become a
like
good
you.
Republican, or are you going to stick with the KKK Democrats?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we're going to do? You see, Swade is one of these deranged individuals. He's a MAGA demon. She's a MAGA demon, I meant. I asked to bring a woman up. Swade came up and pretty much said it is okay to do inappropriate things and commit essay against women. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Join me in giving Nasty Swade a round of what? You guessed it, booze and shame. Because see, Swade thinks it's okay to disrespect women, all right, and go around and just take advantage of them. All right? Swade said they are okay with Donald Trump grabbing them by their by their doozy and just doing whatever they want, knowing good and well the moment Swade had an opportunity to sue Donald Trump, Swade would do it and use that as an excuse. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this stuff up. Swade, you are a disgusting individual and you deserve this one. Let's give him, I saw it. You deserve it. Yeah. I mean, what can you really say when someone actually gets up here and says they're okay with being a nasty individual? What can you really say? I mean, you're just basically confessing that you're a sick and twisted individual, and I guarantee you do a bunch of disgusting things. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Republican Party for you, right? That's the Republican Party. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, we got to move it along to the final part of the segment, which is, you know what? Wait. You can't say anything. Just keep them away from your kids and your animals. You're right, Gloria. I mean, this is what America would be getting more of by putting Donald Trump back in the White House, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this stuff up, right? All right, let's move it along to our last and final topic, all right? And you all know exactly what this is. We got another January 6th update. No, Craig, I'm not talking about President Biden. Craig, do you have any evidence of Joe Biden being a criminal? If so, Craig, when I open up the boxes, I want you to bring the evidence up here, you nasty animal. Y'all a bunch of nasty individuals. You do this, I mean, all right, let's bring up our last and final. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. What did he say? Trump 49.7, Biden 44.6. LOL. Get your riot gear. You Dems, 2 fingers. Maybe you didn't hear me at the top of the show. At the top of the show, I said, I want you to keep watching those poll numbers, right? Because when Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal get on the stand and they spill the beans about Donald Trump and his affairs behind Melania's back, I guarantee you that gag order is going to get violated. Donald Trump's going to be in prison, and that jury eventually is going to convict. Yeah. I mean, listen, those same poll numbers told you that Donald Trump was going to get reelected, and we saw how that turned out. All right. Now let's move it along to January 6th, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm going to open up those boxes. And Swade, I hope you come back, Swade. All right. I just wanted to get your opinion about how you could defend the indefensible, and you did an excellent job, Swade. But I'm not done talking to you. So let's talk J6, ladies and gentlemen. We got another update with January 6th. Good morning, Yazzie. Many of you are very familiar with January 6th. You know, from the way that we all tell it, you all know this was the dark and dangerous day in American history in which Donald Trump and his supporters placed a dagger at the throat of our democracy in an effort to try to make Donald Trump a king, right? But it didn't work. But many people don't know how this happened. And so what I'm going to do is help you understand how this happened. All right. So please bear with me. During Donald Trump's last year in office, this country was on its knees. All right. And you all remember it. We had a nasty pandemic tearing this country to shreds. Our economy was on its knees, all right? And you had nasty individuals like Swade and conservative Democrat and Retribution and Snuggles. You had these knuckleheads terrorizing the United States of America, all right? And the writing was on the wall. Donald Trump knew that he was going to lose because his supporters are a bunch of losers, and so is he, right? So what did he do? He decided to plant a seed of doubt in the minds of Americans all across this country. And you all remember it. Thank you, Dark Frank, for those gifts, all right? The seed that he planted was this.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
Right? It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose, is what he told his supporters. And then guess what happened? Dun, 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 dun. The election results came in, and guess who was the victor? You guessed it. President Joe Biden. And instead of Donald Trump conceding to President Joe Biden, what did he do? Well, we all remembered it.
We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory. 76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
So what that was him lying to his supporters that he actually won the election. This is what he did in order to get them to become radicalized terrorists, radicalized domestic terrorists for him. And so with that in motion, he now has soldiers, because he thinks of himself as the modern day Jefferson Davis. All right. And he has soldiers for his new civil war that he's trying to launch. All right. So what happens next, ladies and gentlemen? Well, you guessed it. You guessed it. Here it goes.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
So that's the fake elector scheme being put into motion. So he has soldiers and a fake elector scheme. Can you say scheme, ladies and gentlemen? This is what Donald Trump was doing to try to remain in power illegally. So what happens next? Well, he goes to his soldiers that he's now radicalized, and he says, you guessed it, this is what he says to his soldiers. Attention all Trump supporters. I lost to Joe Biden. I'm very angry. Please sell everything that you have and send the proceeds to me. And then do me a huge favor. Meet me in Washington, D.C. at an event that I'm hosting called Stop the Steal. All right. It's a rally that I'm hosting. Be there. Will be wild. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump invited his supporters to Washington, D.C. to be at a wild event. I don't see anywhere peaceful in that. I don't see anything about that says peaceful. And so guess what his soldiers decided to do? They decided to pack themselves in the back of these U-Hauls like a bunch of sardines. You know who these are. You know who these people were. These are grown men with khaki pants on, and they put on masks, right? You know who these folks are. These are the Patriot Front, the Boogaloo Boys, the Proud Boys. They ended up getting in the back of those U-Hauls, wearing the mask. You know, these same people during the pandemic, you would walk into the grocery store and they would have a mask, but they still let their nose hang out and you'll see the snot coming out of their nose. Put your mask on. No, I'm not putting my mask on because I can't breathe. This is what they said. They had no problem putting those masks on when it was time to attack the United States Capitol. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? You see, these Trump supporters, they always reveal themselves. They always reveal themselves, right? Cosplaying military boys. Yeah. So guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? They all get to Washington, D.C. When they get to Washington, D.C., they receive some orders from a lieutenant. You ever heard of Marjorie Taylor Greene? One of the, the one we say is responsible for planting those pipe bombs, right? They got some orders from Lieutenant Marge that day.
Everything. If we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building. Finished with our meetings here at the White House this afternoon. We had a great planning session for our January 6th objection. We aren't going to let this election be stolen by Joe Biden and the Democrats. President Trump won by a landslide. Call your House reps, call your senators from your states. We've got to make sure they're on board. We already have a lot of people engaged.
Thank you.
Okay, stay tuned.
So that's Marjorie Taylor Greene instructing the Trump supporters to prepare for an all-out assault on the United States of America's Capitol in Washington, D.C., to do whatever they can to stop Joe Biden from being president. And you can see right here, there's a lot of evidence out there that are saying that she just might be responsible for planting those bombs around the Capitol. This was supposed to be one of the biggest crime scenes in American history ever since the British attacked our Capitol. So what happens next? Well, that's a very, very good question. There's a meeting that took place in the White House, ladies and gentlemen, and you all remember it, between Donald Trump and his own Vice President, Mike Pence. Donald Trump goes into the office. Pence, are you ready to do what I asked you to do? Don't you dare certify those votes for Joe Biden. And what did Pence do? Well, you know it. Pence grew some spine that day. And he said, well, Mr. President, unfortunately, I won't be able to follow through on that with you. Thank you, Venus. I won't be able to follow through, Mr. President, because that would require me to place you above the Constitution. And that's a document that our founding fathers fought and bled for. That's a document that Americans, since the founding of this country, have died for. I can't do it, Mr. President. Donald Trump looked at Pence and he called him that nasty P word, right? And he said, you know what your problem is? You're a little too honest, Pence. And he stormed out of the office. He goes to his Secret Service. Security, take me to the ellipse to meet with my soldiers, to meet with my troops. Sir, those people are armed. They got tactical gear. They got pepper spray, bear spray, chemical repellents. It's not safe to go. And he tells his security, take me to be with my soldiers. They're not there to harm me. They thought about it and they said, you're right. Let's take him to meet up with his soldiers. So Donald Trump decides to take that ride to the Capitol and to the ellipse. And when he gets there, he looks over the field and he sees this sea of love, as he likes to call it, this sea of Trump supporters. And he decides it's either now or never. And so he gets onto the stage, ladies and gentlemen, and you all remember what he did. He decides to encourage his supporters to, you guessed it, engage in what? Heinous acts of violence, all right?
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
So you have to show strength. You have to be strong. And as you can see, these were his soldiers that day. This wasn't the FBI. This wasn't BLM. This wasn't Antifa. This is all Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. And so what happens next? Well, you know, that's a very, very good question. They began to proceed and march towards the United States Capitol with the intent to commit crimes like we've never seen. All right? Here's a good example. You remember this, ladies and gentlemen? You remember this? They wanted to unalive the vice president of the United States in order to help Donald Trump stay president of the United States. These people were hell-bent on destroying America. Imagine this. All of you out there who are currently protesting, about a legitimate cause, right? The way Donald Trump was going to have this country was he was going to be the king and ain't nobody protesting anymore. It's either what he says or you're out of here. That's the direction we were headed as a country. And he was very, very close to pulling it off. Very close. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta bring up another situation that took place that day. You all remember her. Do you all remember who Ashley Babbitt was? One of Donald Trump's foot soldiers? Here's Ashley Babbitt, ladies and gentlemen. You all know about Ashley Babbitt. This is one of his soldiers that lost their life at on the battlefield that day on behalf of Donald Trump. And guess what we got? We got some insider information on what was going through Ashley Babbitt's mind on this day. All right? Listen to what Ashley Babbitt was saying, ladies and gentlemen. All right? You can't make this stuff up.
District. Why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit that's going on there? You are a complete... I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this modern Karen. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the world. Your people can't get to work. Our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party.
Capitol and a mob, there's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on the ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue, patriots and Trump.
She says there's a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots for Donald Trump. I don't see any BLM. I don't see any Antifa. I don't see the FBI. I'm seeing a whole lot of Trump supporters. I don't see anything peaceful about this. And you all know how Ashley Babbitt lost her life. Remember, she tried to crawl in through this window. That's right before Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump. See, MAGA doesn't like to tell you the truth about Ashley Babbitt, but I think it's the right thing to do. So that anyone that's out there paying attention to what's going on understands the truth about what really happened on January 6th. MAGA will lead you to believe this was a peaceful protest. They'll try to lead you to believe it was a setup. This was not a setup. This was an organized attack on the United States Capitol planned by Donald Trump and his cronies. And guess what happened after Ashley Babbitt lost her life? Donald Trump got word that she lost her life, and listen to what happened.
Some information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
A non-reaction at Ashley Babbitt losing her life from the Commander-in-Chief, Donald J. Trump. A non-reaction. That means he didn't even care. He was still angry that his plan didn't work. You all didn't fight hard enough. You all lost, according to him. So he's angry. That should tell you all just how dangerous Donald Trump is. He don't care if you lose your life for him. It's about him, not you. So now that we all know that this is January 6th, as we Americans have seen it, and there was nothing peaceful about this, let's talk about another update with one of his soldiers, if you don't mind, before I open up these boxes, all right? All right, we got another update from a J6er, all right? FBI has arrested 2 more South Carolinians for their January 6th participation. 2 more South Carolinians were arrested on Monday by the FBI in connection with the January 6th Capitol riots. The men, both from Greenville area, are John Barry Chisholm and Michael Anderson, 34 and 44 years old, according to a federal complaint. They were arraigned in Greenville on Friday morning before U.S. Magistrate Judge Kevin McDonald. They each posted an unsecured bond of $25,000. Both are charged with knowingly entering a restricted area, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted area, disorderly or disruptive conduct in a Capitol building, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. The total number of South Carolinians who have been arrested in connection with January 6th is now at 27. Tipsters helped the FBI identify Anderson and Chisholm and steered federal agents to Facebook posts by both men that appeared to brag about their participation in a mob of Trump supporters who tried to prevent former Vice President Mike Pence from certifying the November 2020 election in which Joe Biden won a majority of electoral votes. One tipster who knew Chisholm personally told the FBI that Chisholm, quote, had posted photographs on social media from inside the Capitol building, but that he later deleted the photographs, according to a federal complaint that named both men. Chisholm also wrote on Facebook that Pence had the power to send it back to the states, the complaint said. Video footage obtained by the FBI showed both Anderson and Chisholm inside the U.S. Capitol. The complaint said each was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with large numbers 864 written across in the front. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, another traitor has been brought to justice, right? Join me in giving them what they deserve. Our final round of booze and shame. Yes, that's the Greenville area code.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
And because they've been arrested, you know what we must do. Let's send these soldiers off. These soldiers for Donald Trump. Let's send them off the old-fashioned way. I like to hear that extra flush.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear this, MAGA? So for all of you knuckleheads, you knuckle draggers out there who keep thinking this was a setup, you're right. Donald Trump set it up. Whoop-de-doo, we've all been telling you that. Say something new. I just literally explained how this clown got you all in the circus. Do you understand what I'm saying to you Trump supporters? I'm explaining how this clown, and he is a clown. You go, why is he a clown? Because he does what a clown does. He wakes up every day, clown puts on makeup. What does Donald Trump do? He puts on makeup, puts that orange bronzer on. Clown puts on a wig. What does Donald Trump do? He puts this bird's nest right there on his head. Clown puts on that little, whatever that jumpsuit is. Donald Trump does the same thing. He pulls on that nasty diaper and then puts on that crumpled blue suit with a red tie. Who's giving this guy dress tips? Is he getting his dress tips from Ronald McDonald? Seriously, MAGA. He's running the biggest circus known to mankind. And you all are the opening act. How do you keep the lights on around here, Donald Trump? All these supporters of mine, they actually pay me to treat them like this. All I gotta do is sell them some gold shoes. Yeah, and after that, I'll turn around and sell them a Bible. Yeah. Then I just tell them to send me $5 or $10. And get this, they have no problem doing it. Y'all are a bunch of I'm not making any of this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. This is, they go, the rest of the world is laughing at us. This is what I hear Trump supporters saying. You're darn right. And I'm with the rest of the world laughing at you because it doesn't make sense. You're getting these tattoos on your lower back. Trump 2024. They put Trump all on their legs. They make these rap songs about him. Yeah, y'all do this. Y'all do this with y'all money. Money you say you don't have. We can't buy eggs. We can't buy gas, Zeus. You don't deserve to. You're not managing your money correctly. We now know that if we give you individuals any extra money, we let you keep a little extra, we let you keep that $5, right? If we let these Trump supporters keep that extra $5, they're going to turn around and send it right back to Donald Trump. And so he could put them in that circus and make them look like, like a bunch of fools. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, that concludes my monologue. I hope you enjoyed it. It's time to open up these boxes. It's time to open up these boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and to tell the truth. All right, now where is Suede's special behind at? All right, Suede, you bring your special behind back here. All right, because now I'm ready to really unpack just how sick you are to get on my platform and say, oh, Zeus, it's okay for Donald Trump to SA anyone as long as they like it. Yeah, because I really want to make sure you turn your camera on too so I can see you in full regalia with this MAGA demon. All right, let's bring up our first panelist, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have next? Okay, all right. Oh yes, who is this right here? Fork out of here. Greetings.
It is AKA Said He Said.
Oh, okay, what's going on, brother Said? How are you doing, brother?
Your boy Sway. Are you kidding me, dude? There is no way. And I think he was a guy acting like a woman. Was that correct?
No. I asked him, and he said they said they were a woman. All right, so I'm going to take them at their word. They have no reason to get in here and start lying.
I don't know, man. Kind of suspect on that one, but anyway, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I mean, they were, from I said, are you a woman? Yes, I'm a woman. All right, let's go. They said they had no problem. She said she had no problem, right? Mm-hmm. What do you got to say about that to any woman that?
What I would say to you, my brother, is I had a guy in the car this morning. You know what I do for a living, right? And he was telling me all about Trump and how he's been persecuted for the last 8 years, and I just kept bringing up little small things like. Do you know what the emoluments clause is, my man?
Right.
He didn't know.
Wow.
I said, what would you do if Obama had 4 to 5 different golf courses around the country and the world, and he went and vacationed on them in charge of federal government? What would you do, my brother? Well, that wouldn't be right. I said, that's what your boy Trump did.
Yeah.
He says, what happened if he called a state and said, hey, can you find me 11,780 votes? But he didn't really answer. I said, yes, that's exactly what he did. And he did it with his full chest being recorded by the state, the Attorney General. Oh, not Attorney General, Secretary of State.
Yeah,
he said, what did you do? I said, yes, he did. I said, if you took some documents from the federal government and they asked for them back and you didn't, give them back.
Right.
What do you think they should do about it? I said, look, better yet, what would happen to you if you did that? He said, I'd be under the jail. I said, that's correct, young man. What you got to understand is everything that's happening to Donald Trump is because of what he did.
Preach. Preach.
No one's persecuting him. No one is persecuting Donald Trump. He's doing it. He did it to himself, and that's what you get.
Bingo. And I'm glad you're reminding the American people of that, right? Because you and I both know talking to a Trump supporter is really like talking to a brick wall, right? It's not going anywhere. So you gotta keep the conversation centered around those people who might not understand all this. Because, you know, a lot of people are out here working, right? They're going to school, they got their lives to live, and they don't get to keep up with this like you and I do. And so it's very important when we are in these moments that we remind MAGA, yes, Donald Trump brought all of this on himself. Like you said.
He could be playing golf. You know what? They said this weekend he played golf 3 times this weekend. Now, he's the one that says he can't go out and campaign. If he would stay off the damn golf course and go campaign, then he could go to court every Monday. Yeah. Well, he didn't go this Monday. And through Friday and go and take care of his business. But he can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're spot on. Yeah. He doesn't care about this country. You know that.
Zeus, what did he say when he was campaigning? I want these MAGA people to understand this. What did he say with his full chest? I won't have time to play golf. I'm going to be working for the American people. Did he or did he not say that, my brother?
Preach. He did say that. He did say that.
Zeus, how much money did he spend on golfing this whole time?
Please tell us, Sid. Please tell us. I don't have
$140 million, y'all.
Wow, wow, wow.
And the last thing I told this young man, I said, let me ask you a question. Who would you trust? A person that showed you his taxes or a person that didn't show you his taxes? Well, I wouldn't trust anybody. I said, no. Let me ask you one more time. Who would you trust? A person that showed you their taxes or didn't? I would trust a person that shows my taxes. And I said, that's what Joe Biden did for you, my man. He showed you his taxes.
Bingo.
And with that said, I know it's all over from you, my brother. I appreciate you. Hey, guys in the chat, y'all tap the screen for my man Zeus, because he is one of the best.
Thank you. Said he said, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Said
and you know what? And you're not a bad-looking guy either, man. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you today, but not tomorrow.
All right, brother, all right. That's what I like.
Have a good one, brother.
Nutty can't handle that, but Nutty needs to learn his position.
He better get over it. Better get over it.
Yeah,
have a good one, brother.
All right, you too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Said he said a round of applause. Nutty, there's a pecking order in here. There's a pecking order in here, Nutty. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All righty then, let's move it along. Good morning, TJ. How are you doing? Hey, there he is right there. How you doing?
Good morning, brother.
Good morning. You got the camera on.
All right. Good.
All right.
Yeah, I got my camera on for today. I just wanted to say, number one, tomorrow's May 1st. There's a big movement going on. We're trying to make it bigger. Wear green, support women's rights. Try to go live if you can. Go on other people's lives. If you can get there and just talk about women's rights, what they're losing out on, what has been pulled from them, and what's on the chopping block. Remember, everybody has a mother. Even these MAGA demons have mothers. God forbid they have mothers, but, you know, they have rights. You know, you don't want them to have rights, but they have rights. Inalienable rights. I also wear this, honor my mother.
What does it say? Her fight is my fight. Okay, all right. Thank you for increasing awareness around here, champ.
Yeah, bro.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah, always got to fight for our women, because if we don't do it, who will? Because
Paisley,
we got to support them.
Paisley, is there something that we're not getting right, Paisley? He's increasing awareness about women. All right, knock it off, please. You might learn something. Sorry, TJ.
No problem. And second, for the custodial engineer down there, Mr. Retribution, I got some toilets upstairs in this hospital need some attention. If you want to swing by, we are hiring, not according to what you guys are pointing that there's no jobs.
Okay.
Actually, next week I'm training a new guy. So
Okay.
you know, go figure.
Retribution. Would you like to put those PhDs to work and
Uh,
get a real job for once in your life? If so,
Here's what PhD stands for, by the way: plumbing Hershey drains.
Ah!
We know who you are.
That's good, TJ. Hey, you came ready.
Always ready. And for everybody who didn't catch it, I got one I was messing around yesterday for Zeus.
Oh,
Let
look at
Zeus.
that! Oh man, TJ. Donna, thank you.
All right, man.
Wow.
May 1st, got to get out there for our women. Women, we're backing you up. We're not leading the charge. We're following you. Remember,
Bingo.
this election, women are changing the states red to blue. And if they're not already there, they're purple. But they're ready to go.
Let's go. Thank you, TJ. Have a good one, my brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give TJ a round of applause. No lies detected. All right. Where are these women for Donald Trump at, ladies and gentlemen? This is what I'm talking about. Every time I want to talk to women for Donald Trump, they're out there in the audience hiding. No. Come on up here, and I'm gonna let you talk like I let the last woman come up here. Just say what's on your mind. Tell us all why you love Donald Trump and his dirty diapers. I would love to hear it. And go ahead and show us how you could easily overlook all of those faults that he has. You know, when he says he grabs women by the doozy. I would love to hear the excuses, all right? Because I'm keeping an archive of all these answers. And so far, the most interesting one came from Sade. What was their name? What was her name? Sadie or whatever. If they like it, it's okay. But what if they don't like it? Good morning, Shay.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom.
It is. Have you did you talk about the OAN thing?
No, I have not.
Oh, so I don't know if you guys heard, but you know how some people are they're saying stuff like Michael Cohen is actually the one that slept with Stormy Daniels.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Have you been hearing all that?
Oh, the beautiful Shay. I've heard about that. I've heard a lot of things about Cohen lately. You know, they're complaining he's on TikTok and all of this other stuff, right? And yeah, they're saying he paid for this relationship with Stormy because he had one. It was him.
Right. So you heard all that, right?
Yeah.
So, and, I hear the conservative wives pushing that narrative, and all that kind of stuff. Well, OAN has now issued a retraction of that story about Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. Yes.
Why do you think they did that?
Yeah, because Michael Cohen's been suing them.
Oh.
And they have decided to retract it so they don't owe him millions of dollars.
Oh.
Fake news, everybody.
Wow.
Remember what I was telling you yesterday about the creator of fake news and Donald Trump? But yet y'all think it's the leftist media and the deep state that creates all these fake news. No, it's weird how we keep finding out, much like the election stealing, that it's always a Republican that's
ain't that something?
Weird, right?
It's like every MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession.
It's so true. Make it make sense. When are you guys going to wake up? It's so clear that everything that Donald Trump says, what the right-leaning media says, everything that's been pushed is absolutely a deflection. Look over there. It's not us creating fake news.
Nope.
It's not us trying to rig the election and put in fake electors plots and send in several people to vote several times.
Correct. Did we send any of our supporters to the Capitol? Do you know of that happening in any elections in your lifetime where the Democrats sent people in there to keep the incumbent in office? Anything like that?
No. In fact, you would think if we were to do such a thing, it should have been done in the election of 2000 between George W. Bush and Al Gore, right?
Oh, good point.
Because that was an election that literally came down to 29 electoral college votes. One state of Florida, 525 votes total. It literally went. This is why when they complain, well, I've never seen an election take so long and they should be counted the same night of. Where were you in the election of 2000 when the Supreme Court kicked it back to Florida in December? George Bush was not declared president until December.
Wow.
And you guys are complaining about, I think it was November 18th or something when they finally got everything said and done, something like that. Somebody can fact check me on the date when 2020 wrapped up. So, yeah, I mean, that's what's so crazy. It's like y'all have never paid attention to politics whatsoever. I was on Reese's Peanut Butter Cups live earlier this morning. Okay. And there was a woman in there just going on. Oh, my God. That's cool. Hey.
Nice. Garvey.
Ain't no hold 'em. Hey, I like that little Beyonce action. I like it.
I love it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sing it, Shay.
Rock your lessons. Anyway.
Oh, Venus.
Hey, thank y'all.
Retribution. Zip it. You have no room to complain in here, bro. You're below the earth at this point. So Retribution. You and the conservative Democrat.
I'm ready
the worst of the worst.
4 PhDs. I'm ready to see all those.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Send them to my DMs. I want to see what your 4 PhDs are in and where you work for NASA. What project you run.
Yeah, you know what they tell them to do at NASA. They tell them to kick rocks. Get out of here.
It's so funny. They always come up and they make up stuff and then they meet people like me and several of us that are like, actually, I have friends that work at NASA. My husband's in it. What project are you working on? Oh, I can't tell you that.
He's had enough time.
Project of NASA. They have to get funding.
Like I said,
he doesn't know how NASA works. NASA is literally given funding by the government. So they have to present every single, we want to send a probe up into space and we need X amount of money and this is the project we're working on. And they have to get that money. There's no secret projects in NASA. They have to show everything they're doing in order to get the funding. That's how NASA works. It's a federal agency. Yeah. It's hysterical to me that he's like, oh, we have all this secret stuff.
And he has a PhD in psychology, but works at NASA.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's just...
Make it make sense, Retribution, please.
He thinks we common folk, we don't know. We don't know any of this,
Yeah.
We live in our homes because we don't work,
Well, what I think is it works in his circles that they run in because none of them are really that intelligent, right? But when they put it out here and try to get it tested amongst real people, it just falls on its face because it's a lie. And so that's just how it works, Retribution. You're a liar. 4 PhDs and working at NASA. Seriously, bro? Cut it out.
I know, right? That's the best you can do with your life? Interesting.
Yeah. Well, listen, Shay, we got to move
it
along.
All right, guys. It's interesting watching the trial. It's going to be a lot of, financial stuff for a while. So.
All right. Well, okay. Well, we're waiting on Stormy and Karen.
Stormy and Michael and Karen. Yeah, it's going to be good. That's probably going to be next week, though. I think I get all this other boring stuff for a while. But anyway. All right, much love to the kingdom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. No lies detective. Good morning, Gina. I see you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, be on the lookout for the new scam that MAGA is running on TikTok, where they falsify business entries and inflate their crowd size, that kind of stuff. Yeah, they make up. I don't got just one PhD. I don't got 2. I got 3. I got 4 PhDs, Zeus. Lie. Zeus, I have a degree. What is your degree? In aviation, blah, blah, blah. That's not a degree. That's a certificate. You're not that intelligent, MAGA. When you get out here and you have conversations with real people, I want you to understand the standard is going high. The standard is higher than you could ever imagine. These people out here, they are looking for people to brand themselves as things that they're not, and they're going to expose you. When you have to defend the statement that you're making, that's when you know it's a lie. Because people who are really in those industries, people who really know who's who in those industries, they're going to go, what the heck are you talking about? You got 4 PhDs, you've done a dissertation, you've actually published research, and they're in peer-reviewed journals. Show us. Zeus, I can't show you that. Okay, because you're lying your butt off. And if you really did have those PhDs, explain why you are still in Donald Trump's circus. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm telling you the truth. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. Good morning, Z-Pop. How are you doing, bro? He has a player hating degree.
Oh yes, sir. Hello, hello, hello.
All right.
We're doing all right. A little bit better. The sinus infection seems to be clearing up.
Okay.
This was a doozy. This is
All
a
right.
doozy. I had back-to-back antibiotics. I never had to do that in my life.
Oh
Let me tell you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
it was-
I'm glad you're on the other side, on the up and up side of it, right?
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready to go. Be subpoenaed.
Oh.
Because these MAGA
You
folks
are?
think that's. These MAGA folks thinks that I'm going to be subpoenaed to trial because I'm co-hosting with Michael Cohen. The cognitive dissonance is insane. What in the hell would I have to gain? What would they have to gain? Number one, apparently somebody sent our good friend Mr. Flash. He sent a video of me on Michael Cohen's live, and he sent it to the defense team. He sent it to the defense.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to tell the truth if they subpoenaed you? Would you be willing to tell the truth?
Here's what I said, Zeus, and this is what I said in my video yesterday. If I get called to the stand to testify, my promise to the kingdom is I will testify in Donald Trump's voice. In front of Donald Trump.
You know what? This might be the opportunity that we've been waiting for. This is it.
The opportunity of a lifetime, they say.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be willing to tell the truth, right? And so, with that being said, the questions you got to be prepared for are, what do you know about Stormy Daniels?
I mean, look. At the end of the day, Zeus, if they call me up there, I'll be like this. I'll be like, well, actually, she was probably a 9. She was not a 10. And this guy right here, he knows. This guy, I'd point right at Donald Trump. This guy.
Oh,
he
you
knows.
would point.
This guy knows. So if that's the game we want to play, I'll play it.
But it's sad, right? Because these are the same people that complain about a 2-tier justice system, and you're telling me they are snitching. These are some snitches out here. Wow.
They're snitches. I mean, they're really sending my videos. I'm flattered. I hope that they see me in the video doing my impression, and I hope that they think it's good. Right?
Yeah.
I hope they think it's funny. Like I do, because look, if this is where, let me just say this. There was an ABC News article, right, that was written about Michael Cohen and his lives.
I read
and
that.
They talked about a bunch of people in there, guests and whatnot. I wasn't even mentioned in that article, right? So now I'm going to be subpoenaed to testify. I can't even make print journalism, Zeus. Right. How am I going to make the court? How am I going to do that?
Well, they're going to say
if
you
I can't
and Cohen are conspiring together to sabotage this case. That's going to be their argument. You are taking Donald Trump's rhetoric, right, and applying it to this case to somehow support Alvin Bragg and George Soros. So show us, Z-Pop, your bank statements, and show us you didn't have any connection to Stormy Daniels or Karen McDougal.
Absolutely, foodly doodly do. And that's what I'll do. And let me tell you, it will be the biggest story on David Muir. It'll be the biggest story ever. Donald Trump impersonator from TikTok takes the stand and does Trump impression in front of Donald Trump. Unbelievable, incredible, absolutely fantastic. These people, they love me.
Maybe that'll be the trick to helping him stay awake.
Yeah, maybe he'll call in sick to the trial. Maybe he'll be at his graduation. I don't know.
Well, I'll say this: if you end up there, bring one of those masks, because I hear it's kind of stinky in there.
Well, yeah, the Ozempic, it's smelly. There's a side effect, diarrhea, and it's a little smelly. And we're hearing good things about the weight loss. We love it.
Wow.
We're losing lots of weight in the courtroom, and we're passing lots of gas. Big water.
Wow.
Big water.
Wow, wow, wow. So are you and Cohen still co-hosting? I heard that he was supposed to cut back
I'm
on all of
taking
it.
I took a couple days off because I was sick, and then
Okay.
I've been off the last couple nights because my mother-in-law's at my house watching the kid because we
Okay,
don't have
okay.
daycare.
Okay.
So I've kind of just been chilling because my mother-in-law's not really she's a MAGA person. So I don't want to get involved with
Yeah, do what you got to do. Family
Michael
first.
Cohen. But my mom and dad, let me tell you, they're asking me, "Are you going on Cohen tonight? Are you going on Cohen?" It's an unreal thing. I have to say, they love it. I'm glad I finally made them proud.
You've always made your mom and dad proud, all right, bro? Cut it out.
All right.
right.
Well, I'm going to let you move on in the kingdom because I know you have important affairs to attend to.
Yes, that's right.
And retribution, cut it out. Cut it out. That's a great impression.
Yep.
He's jealous of my impression. He's saying that's a terrible impression. That's hilarious.
Yeah, retribution is a terrible impression himself. All right, seriously. All right, ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right,
let's give Z-Pac a nice round of applause. All right, bro, and let us know if you're going live again. All right.
I will probably Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Wednesday it is.
Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Z-Pac a round of applause. All of you Trump supporters out there that keep crying and running to the cops, you're a bunch of snitches. You're emailing these attorneys to try to save Donald Trump. You're a bunch of snitches. Let the system play out. Trust the process. Thank you, Rick. If Donald Trump is innocent, let the system prove he's innocent. There is a jury of 12 jurors, all right, and actually some alternates, that will be able to do what any American in this country should be able to do. Look at the evidence and determine whether or not defendant Donald Trump is guilty. Stay out of it. All right? All this does is make you look weak, MAGA. You look weaker than you've ever looked. You got folks on TikTok, probably the Russian bears now that I think about it, orchestrating another scheme to try to keep Donald Trump out of trouble. You know what? I think the scheme that they're actually orchestrating needs to be looked into by the DOJ, perhaps, right? All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, who do we got next? Good morning, CC.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
How's my handsome, humble, and the most honest on TikTok doing today?
When you say it like that, I'm feeling great, like I've eaten 1,000 boxes of Frosted Flakes.
Hey, they're my favorite.
Yeah. The extra sugar on it. Yeah, you know what that does.
Yeah. I like sugar. I like that sugar.
Yeah. Tell them, CC.
I was a little disappointed last night. I got up there with Michael. So did Jessica.
Oh.
But we were echoing really bad, so we didn't, really get to talk to him.
Oh.
But he's a very nice person. We've all made mistakes.
Yeah.
We're none perfect. We've lied. Some get caught, some don't.
I mean, let's take for instance Snuggles. Snuggles lies every day, right?
Every day.
So he has zero room to talk.
Zero.
And and every Trump supporter on this app, they all lie just like Snuggles. So they really have no room to talk.
Oh, none at all. And Greg was talking about Flash, and I was in that live in the comments because when they see me, they get rid of me.
Yeah.
But they badgered him, every single one of them. You're going to court. You're going to get a subpoena. You're going to get in trouble. Michael's going to jail. You're protecting a liar. And they come after me too.
Nasty.
They've come after me too because I go into his lives, whether I talk to him or not,
Right.
They come after me too. What is their problem?
They're scared, CC. Their leader is going to prison, and they're going to try every trick in the book to keep him out. That's what's going on. These Trump, like I said, as we get closer and closer to November, Donald Trump's going to get closer and closer to prison.
They're desperate.
Yeah.
They're desperate.
Yeah, and I'm going to make sure that every step of the way, I'm right there next to him going, you see that? You see that? Yeah. You see that? He violated the gag order. Uh-oh, they found him in contempt. This means
yeah.
Judge Tanya Chutkin. That means Judge Tanya Chutkin could remand him because one of his conditions of being out on bail was that he shouldn't break the law. Well, we just got him on record breaking the law.
Well, the news just come up, and I thought it was Thursday, but they have fined him. It just came up, breaking news now.
Yep.
Is it true or not?
Yeah.
It said that they have fined him $9,000.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's in the case he's in right now in New York. So that's what the judge in New York did. But his condition of release in these other venues is that he can't break the law anymore. And now that the judge has found him in contempt, now we got him on record breaking the law.
Yeah.
So guess what? Lock him up.
Yeah. Yep. They told him that they told him that if he opened his mouth, he's facing jail. Well, you know what? Here's my deal. What is it? 11 gag orders that he's had? 11, 14?
I don't know.
I can't keep up.
Gag order violations. They said 9 of them they found him in violation of. Right.
Okay. Well, my solution to that is after that fat clown is out of court for the rest of the day, he needs to go directly to jail.
Let's do it.
Sit there in that jail cell for 3 to 4 hours, eat prison food, and then don't take a bath there because nobody wants to see your dirty, nasty.
Just let the water hose get him. Put him in the, take him in the back and put the water hose on him. Spray him down.
So after a few hours, he can take his dirty behind home and let somebody scrub it for him or whatever. And then, come back the next day, go to court. After court, go back to jail.
Yeah.
Do that a few times, and I bet that clown will change his mind when it comes to running his mouth.
Bingo. I completely agree, Cece. Yeah. And we're gonna help that happen. We're gonna help make that happen. All right.
Oh, and he's sleeping in court again today.
Oh, he's feeling a little tired. Yeah.
I guess it's from golfing.
No. Wait a second, Jackson. Seriously, Trump should be in prison.
Absolutely.
Seriously. Don't come in here with that nonsense, Jackson.
He would be in jail.
Yep.
Anybody else would be in jail.
Yep.
Well, that's
exactly.
Okay. Karma is a bee, and we know that. And that's coming.
Tell him,
Thank
Cece.
you, honey. You have a good day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Cece a round of applause. No lies detected. I appreciate you too. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not one of these people out here that thinks Donald Trump shouldn't be in prison. I think he's well past due. He should be in prison because when you think about it, look at all the harm him and his supporters have caused this country, Jackson. How much more evidence do you need to realize he's a criminal? How much more evidence do you need to realize that he's the most dangerous threat to our democracy, Jackson? He's not your typical criminal. He's over here getting away with a lot of things that you and I both know. If you were to do a fraction, and I do mean a fraction of what he's done, you would be on America's Most Wanted list. Jackson, so get out of here with that nonsense, you liar. Let's bring up my next panelist, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next? Oh, my one of my competitors, all right, for the handsomest title. Nutty, have you decided to change your tune?
Oh my goodness. What's going on, brother?
I'm feeling great. Like I've eaten 1,000 boxes of Frosted Flakes. You know how this goes, all right? Now, who's the handsomest of all? Tell them, Nutty.
It looks like you ate a box of grape nuts, so... Anyway, so listen, we all know what's going on college campuses right now.
All right.
Unfortunately, this does affect me because this affects my daily job.
Okay.
And I just want to explain what the students are saying. When y'all hear from the river to the sea, Palestine must be free, that's not anti-Semitism, y'all. If you go look at the 1977 charter of the Likud party, which is Benjamin Netanyahu's right-wing party that he leads, their charter says that the right of the Jewish people to the land of Israel is eternal and indisputable and is linked to the right to security and peace. Therefore, Judea and Samaria will not be handed to any foreign administration. Between the sea and the Jordan, there will only be Israel sovereignty. So that's where the chant, from the river to the sea, Palestine must be free. When we go into college campuses, a place where higher education and higher learning is supposed to take place, and we sick the police on students because we don't like their speech, what do we keep hearing from the right? Oh, my free speech. My free speech. Well, you know what? College students have free speech.
That is correct.
And the fact is, if the Triple K has the right to assemble and have the right to free speech, who am I to stand in their way and try to get them arrested for their speech? It's either you believe in free speech or you do not. Which one is, there's no in between.
Can I ask a question? You know, because this is a very, very complicated issue. Have you seen these videos where they were chanting FJB?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your assessment of that? Because as a person that's really not deep into this, I'm aware of it. I do believe in free speech. It's definitely interesting when these people's rhetoric, the people protesting, their rhetoric is aligning with MAGA.
Unfortunately, Jesus, they don't get it.
Oh.
They can scream FJB all they want. They have the right to do so.
I mean, I agree on that. But
they have the right to criticize their president.
Right.
Whether or not we like it, whether or not they know the history or not, they have the right to do so. And because they have the right to do it, because we have the right to do something, should we do it? Probably not. But that's why we have our constitutional rights. And that is their constitutional right. And when we see universities, colleges and universities sticking the police on their student population because they want to protest, we've already lost our democracy.
So you believe but do you think it's a little more nuanced than that, right? I mean, I get that you and we have a right to free speech, right? But I do think that once my speech starts to align with MAGA's speech, I do believe that if you don't know the ins and outs, outside looking in, it could give an impression that you might not be aware of, correct?
It absolutely gives that impression. It absolutely does. But
which in my opinion, and I'm not an expert at this, could be how do you say it? It could be basically working against the cause you're trying to the goal you're trying to achieve. And that's really my concern in terms of all of this. It's I wouldn't say things that a person that I would say is a criminal and a nasty criminal, I wouldn't go along and use that rhetoric. I would try to be a little more creative. I mean, it's definitely an exercise of free speech, but I also think to a certain degree this is a marketing concept, a marketing issue that needs to be fine-tuned because it makes it harder to focus on what the goal is here, from my point of view.
So Zeus, and I saw Tiffany's comment down there. Tiffany, you're correct. Hate speech is different from free speech. We don't have the right to go into a theater and scream fire and then claim free speech. We don't have that right. All right. So, but to limit someone's speech because of nasty language that you don't like, there's a slippery slope. Now for agitators, there's always going to be agitators in protest because the people who know it best are the protesters for BLM.
Right.
Those are the people that know it best. Right. But a great majority of these college campuses, they are peaceful protests, and then they have people that come in that's not even a student, and they precipitate the issues that we're seeing, and then the media magnifies it.
And that's the part that I was trying to bring more of awareness about, right? I believe there's a good cause in this, but how is this being or monitored to make sure that the good cause isn't overshadowed by the people with other intentions, I should say, because to me that's the issue. I mean, yes, the media is going to sensationalize every single thing they can. That's the goal here, right? Everyone got to eat off of this.
So what I've told some of students that I know that are protesting, when they see those people, when they're doing the things that's antithetical to the cause of why you're out there, call it out.
Yeah.
Be forceful. Be forceful. I don't care if they pretend to be on your side. Call it out. Let everyone else know, hey, this is not what we're here for. This is not what we're part of. And don't let them hijack the message.
All right. Well, listen, and now there's a couple of things, and I'm glad that you actually brought this up because it's something, like I say, there's a lot going on in this country, and a lot of people just instantly go, "Well, this is Joe Biden's fault," right? Is it your opinion, Nutty, that had the situation been that Donald Trump was the president of the United States, what do you think Donald Trump's response to these protests would have been? Because, as you know, Donald Trump is running to be president again. He said he'll be a dictator only for one day. How do you think Donald Trump and the rest of the MAGA Republican Party would handle this kind of, situation? Because I believe you and I agree Trump would still support Israel, correct?
Oh, for sure. And I think what we're seeing right now, though, it would be magnified by 3. It would be times 3.
You mean it would be he would handle it better than Joe Biden?
No, what I mean, we would see it magnified because one thing Donald Trump enjoys, he enjoys seeing people being arrested for speech and then claim they're muzzling me in court. He loves seeing this because it goes against, like you said, some of the messaging that we've seen. It sounds like MAGA.
Yeah,
it sounds like MAGA. So he's enjoying this right now.
But if he were president, what would he be pressuring? Especially like states like Texas, Greg Abbott. What would he be pressuring Republicans to do to, in a way, quell the rebellion, so to speak?
He would be pressuring them to do what Greg Abbott did. He would be pressuring them to do what the United States House of Representatives is doing, is bringing in more college presidents and trying to get them fired from their jobs, like the president, the first black woman, female president of Harvard.
Yeah.
She had to step down because of her testimony in front of Congress, because Congress didn't think she was doing enough to repel anti-Semitism, which just because someone says something. So I need y'all to understand, anti-Semitic comments, all it is racist comments. So the fact is, don't be racist against Jews, but you can be racist against blacks. You can be racist against everybody else, just not Jews. It all sucks, y'all. It all is horrible, and we shouldn't do it up no matter who it is.
Correct.
No matter who it is, we shouldn't do it.
And I think you and I and everyone else that's actually a person that's concerned about human rights agrees. And I know we're over my 3 minutes, but my question is, because we're going to the ballot box to vote in November, and Joe Biden is catching a lot of nasty, blowback, whether we're talking immigration, whether we're talking the economy, or whether we're talking this situation with Israel and Palestine. And so my question is to you, are we better off trying to support Joe Biden through this challenging time, or do you believe we need to get Joe Biden out of there and the only alternative is Donald Trump?
Zeus, I do not believe that we need to get Joe Biden out. Listen, I've said on your platform before, I don't agree with the way the president is handling this conflict over in the Middle East. I don't agree with it. However, but I can see the forest from the trees, right? I know that if we don't save our own democracy here in this country and the alternative, there will be no Palestine. And the people who are saying FJB and the Gen Z who are screaming at the president, I need them to realize that you have every right to be upset with this president, but not voting for this president is not the answer. It's not, because he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. The one thing you cannot say about Joe Biden is that he does not care. You can't say that about him. We can say that about Donald Trump.
Okay, to me that's
Biden
fair.
cares.
That's
Joe
fair.
Biden cares, and he's trying to navigate this the best possible way that he can. So we are, number one, we're continuing to support an ally, and number two, we're also supporting the victims. And the victims are who? It's the Palestinian people. People complain about women, children, and the elderly, but aren't all lives sacred? I'm not just women, children, and elderly. I don't want no innocent life lost, be it Israeli or Palestinian. No innocent life should be lost.
Got it.
Because you have this person like Bibi Netanyahu, who, I don't know if y'all knew, he was born in Jerusalem, but he was also raised and grew up in Philadelphia. So he has the worst of American politics ingrained in his head. My time is up. I don't want to, derail.
No. This is necessary. All right. I mean, like I said, I'm heavy on covering Donald Trump, but it doesn't mean all of these other issues aren't important. So I appreciate you, at least having the conversation. All right. I'm pretty sure
the thing is, if we don't have this conversation, what is it doing? It's going to put Donald Trump back in office, and that's what we don't want.
Bingo. All right, Nutty. That was interesting. You're still below me when it comes to handsome, but what you did, pretty awesome, brother. I appreciate it. All right.
Well, listen, this is your broadcast. I'll let you believe that.
You better. All right. No, if you know what's good for you.
I'll let you. Hey, as always, I love you, brother. Have a great day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Nutty Professor. He better act like he got some act right, all right? Because he knows, listen, ain't nothing to it but to do it. I'll drop you like a bad habit, Nutty Professor. Knock it out. Cut it off. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's bring it up. Oh, who do we got? My brother Swerve. And see, I felt your presence, bro. Straight facts, I see you. Good morning, Swerve. How you doing, bro?
Hey, Zeus was cracking, man.
What's going on?
I only got a few minutes. I'm waiting for him to come and get me to take me down for a procedure. They said they was going to be here earlier, but oh well.
Okay. But, well, I'm glad we got to at least connect, all right? Because I know you've been out there, but I haven't heard from you.
Well, I've been in the hospital here since yesterday, but I'm doing okay. We'll just have to wait and see where the chips lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But, no, I wanted to touch base, man. This judge basically, he hasn't decided on the penalty for Donald Trump for these for violation of these gag orders, and I really don't know what it is he's waiting on to just go ahead and give him his punishment and say this is what's going to happen. But he did tell him he's considering jail time.
Yeah, I thought he had to pay $9,000, right? I thought if it was
$9,000, $9,000 for 9 violations, and they can only do $1,000 a piece.
That's not enough for you, huh?
No, definitely not enough. And then jail time. I'd be happy with jail time, just like 5 days in prison for every gag order violation. Right.
What about the fact they say if you do that to him, it's going to make his poll numbers go soaring through the roof?
Let him soar. If that's what they believe, let him soar. But people need to see that this man is not above the law. He's been given way too many chances. He's been given way too many exculpations to allow him to continue to get away with the garbage that he's getting away with. And we, as the regular tax-paying American citizen, we would have already had to pay our $1,000. We would have already done our time in prison. And then when even without violating some goofy gag order,
right?
When the court was over for the day, you know where they would have took us back to? Jail. So there's your two-tier justice system, as I've been saying for years now. There's your two-tier justice system. There's one for people like Trump, and then there's one for us. Now let's say when he's found guilty in this trial.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna set sentencing for June of 2027. What the hell? Why we gotta wait till June of 2027 for the man to get sentenced? This is ridiculous. Where if it was you or I, all right, Daryl, you're guilty.
Can I go?
You
Can I go give my mama a hug? What they gonna
Yeah,
tell you?
you
What they
you
gonna
going
say?
from here straight to the pen. See you.
Oh, that don't work like that.
And so miss me, you MAGA demons, you MAGA knights, MAGA simps, MAGA crybaby, whiny snowflake little weasels. Don't sit here and talk about no two-tier justice system, one for Democrats and one for Republicans. Because if you was in the same position as Donald Trump without actually being Donald Trump, your goofy behind would be in prison also. Waiting.
Tell them, Swerve. Tell them.
Bunch of jackalones. These people kill me with this crap of this two-tier justice system. Why do they come up with it? Because Donald Trump said we had a two-tier justice system that was brought on by the political affiliation of the Joe Biden. Man, shut up, or get it. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
A lot of Americans aren't in agreement about that two-tier justice system the way that Donald Trump is describing it. We all see it as, like you said, for some strange reason, they are giving him every opportunity to be successful in that courtroom. Every break.
Yep. How you gonna take a break from the court after the judge just told you to shut your mouth, and you come out and you take a break, and the first thing you do is step in front of the cameras and start running your mouth? Lock him up, put him in a jail cell, and call it a day.
Well, let me ask you this. One of his conditions of release, they say is he can't break any other laws. And now that he's been found in contempt in New York, do you think Jack Smith should rush into the courtroom with Judge Tanya Chutkin and use this as some sort of strategy to get him locked up? Do you think Jack Smith should do that, Swervin?
I think not only should he, well, I think not only he could, but I also believe he should. However, remember, Jack Smith is playing chess. Jack Smith is playing Romulan chess. Donald Trump is playing Connect 4. Jack Smith is waiting on the ruling to see from the Supreme Court what kind of presidential immunities he does have, because there will be some presidential immunities there.
Yeah.
What's going to be considered an official act and this, that, and the other thing. And once they come down with that ruling, then I think that's when we're going to see the gates of Jack Smith unleash and open.
Good.
That's what I'm hoping for. So, listen, brother, I don't want to take up your live, man. I appreciate you.
You don't want to nutty up my live like Nutty did.
I'm not trying to nutty up your live. You know me better than that, Zeus.
All right.
So I'll holler at you later, brother. Thanks as always for having me up. Thanks to the Kingdom for having me and listening to me also. And I love you guys and girls. Y'all be well. Y'all be safe. And doggone it, have fun while you're doing it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Brother
sis.
Swerve. No lies detected. It's always a pleasure to hear from you, bro. Don't worry. I got you, bro.
What the hell's going on? Why can't I?
Oh, look at that. We got the camera.
I was actually trying to drop myself down. I can't drop myself down no more.
Don't worry, I got you, bro. I got you.
All
All
right.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Swerve one more again. Looking good, bro. All right, bringing up Straight Facts. How you doing? Straight Facts, my sister. How you doing? Good morning. It's an honor to have you here. Good morning, Straight Facts.
Hey, how you doing, bro? What's going on? Long time no see.
All right, my sister, how are you doing? I'm doing all right. Just another day in the kingdom. All right.
That's right. Hi, Kingdom. How y'all doing? I just wanted to piggyback a little bit off of what Nutty was talking about. And what I want to talk about is what I said in T's Live. It's okay to protest, and we get it, y'all. And we understand that there are agitators that are within the protest as well. But this is the thing, though. If you go out there and protest, understand that you're risking your freedom. You can get arrested for protesting. And back in the Vietnam days, the Vietnam War protesting days, they understood that as well. But the difference between them and the kids nowadays is they understood what they were out there protesting for. Some of these children are out here, young adults are out here protesting and don't even know what happened on October 7th. You're just being a follower. Your mama told you long time ago. You don't be a follower, because you can follow somebody right into the ditch. That's what I want to.
Let me
Go
ask
ahead.
you a question. So we out here in the Bay Area. You know how it gets, especially when it comes to traffic. You remember when the bridges got shut down with the protests? Did that help the cause in your opinion? I mean, if you don't mind speaking on it, or did it make it a little more challenging to get behind it? Because I'm one of these people, and we're just being humans at this point, politics aside. Sometimes you got to use the bathroom while you're on the car. You ever been in one of those situations?
Yes, and you talking about piss some, that will piss you off greatly. And another thing that they're not understanding is that some of these people might be on their last leg, their last occurrence. They can't miss one more day or be late, or they will get fired. And you putting people in a real messed up predicament just because your selfish self want to protest something that's going on outside of the United States of America, number one. Number two, stopping them people from being able to get to work does nothing for your cause. What you're doing is you're pissing people off, and it's making us it's souring us towards you. I want to be on your side. I want to be along with you in protest, but y'all out here stopping me from going to work. I'm going to run y'all over. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I got some shit to do, or stuff, I'm sorry, excuse me. If I got some stuff to do and you sitting down in front of my doggone car and pretending like your life is the only life that matters, I might just run you right on over.
Oh,
Y'all
God.
stop playing games with folks and folks' lives out here. You getting mixed up with the protesting and the Donald Trump people. Just like there were agitators in the BLM protests, it's agitators in these protests as well. They are using you as shields to come out and start some mess and possibly start a civil war. That is what they're looking to do. Be careful, young adults. Be careful.
I mean, and I do like the fact that you are pointing out their young adults, because a lot of times when you're in your 20s, you got this spirit that you're like, whatever I get put into, I can get out of it, and you don't keep in mind how this is going to affect you later on in life, right? When you when all those people that are around you, they disappear because they get family, they got to start their family, they fall in love, and then it's just you, and you got to figure out how to,
I was going to say they're going to get charges that they can't get rid of, and it's going to stop them from being the professional that they're going to school to be. And that's just counterproductive. You need to understand what your plight is for. What are you actually out here fighting? And if you're fighting for someone else's cause and you have looked over your own cause, aka Ghana, aka the Congo, aka Sudanese, you got other people that you come directly from that you need to be out there fighting for. Notice that when we've been out there fighting, they've been sitting back and eating popcorn and shit. Oh, excuse me, and stuff.
I'll be honest with you, right? You're right, and that's why I've been doing a little bit more of a deep dive in American history, because I'm at the point where I'm like, well, how the heck did we get here? And so there have been a number of causes that this country, we've actually gone to war for, because it was that serious, right? And in particular,
that's right.
the issue with slavery. And as far as we're concerned, this issue has not been settled. Right?
That's right. That's right.
And when you see other people ignoring this issue for another issue, you're like, wait a second. That's right. We got to look at what's happening here before we can get over there.
What do they say when you on the plane? You have to put the mask on yourself first, and then put it on your children or whoever else that might need help putting the mask on. Because if you're not breathing, nobody else is breathing. Y'all around here won't even take, some of you young adults are talking about not voting in your own election, but you out there protesting for some other folks' mess. It makes no logical sense. You're being used as tools for a fight that you have no idea about, and honestly has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you. Those people have been over there fighting for years and centuries and decades, and they're going to continue fighting for years and centuries and decades. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't want any parts of it, because they're both monstrous behaviors as far as I'm concerned. And there are monstrous behaviors on the Israeli side and there's monstrous behavior on the Palestinian side. You got to let them people do what they do. And Joe Biden is doing the best that he can. And let me tell y'all something else about y'all tripping on Biden about this TikTok supposable ban. It's not going to happen for probably a year. If not more. Somebody probably gonna buy this company up. And let me tell you another thing. This ain't the only social media that's ever been out here. There's other social media sites. Y'all remember that this was called Musically before it was even called TikTok. We have Black Planet. I'm still mad about Black Planet. And we didn't move. You remember Black Planet?
I sure do. The way they
Baby,
did
we
us.
didn't move. That way they did us. I was having a good time on Black Planet, understand me, and they then moved it on over to MySpace and then moved it on over to Facebook. Y'all gonna learn today. The only thing that's consistent in the United States of America is change. You gotta be willing to go with the flow. If you are out here for the reasons that I'm out here for, is to actually get my voice out here and talk about saving this democracy, then you should be able to do it on any other platform that we have. But if you're out here for the grip and the money, yep, you're mad about this TikTok. I'm not. Go get you a Durgone job if it's that serious.
You know, don't put you in the kitchen and you gonna cook no matter what kind of kitchen it is what you say.
Period. That's what I'm talking about. Because listen, everybody, I'm gonna say this one more time. Everybody is not on TikTok. And if you're an X-generationer, this is our time to shine. We are at the top of the Durgone list, the top of the list. We are at our peak right now. If you sitting your butt at home and you crying and whining about this TikTok ban, you are thinking about the wrong thing. You're immature in your thinking, and you need to figure out when you're going to become an adult. And it needs to be soon, because you're out here telling these children that a Durgone social media platform is more important than our democracy. And I think it's something wrong with that message. It's something wrong with that message.
Bingo.
So I've said what I had to say today, Zeus. I'm going to go ahead and land my plane. Thank y'all all for the gifts. I truly appreciate it. But just remember, this ain't the only somebody social media site. I am on YouTube, and I will be on Instagram and whatever else social media site that I need to be on to spread the word that we need to save this Durgone democracy under any circumstances and by all means.
Go ahead, straight facts. No lies detected.
No lies detected. It was good to see y'all up in the kingdom. I appreciate you guys, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe off in these TikTok streets, because they are tripping for real, Zeus.
For real.
You already know.
You already know. Tell them straight facts. All right. Listen.
All right. See y'all later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful straight facts. No lies detected. Okay. Oh yeah. When you keep the door to the floor, no tadpole wiggle tail can get through. And that was a message for you. Yeah, y'all better start really thinking about your futures and evaluating what's going on out here, all right? If your only hustle is TikTok, you in bad shape, trust me. Yeah. See, I'm not over here worried about it like that, all right? All right, thank you so much. Straight facts. All right. I will try to get a couple more, and then I got to get up out of here. Good morning, Takesha. How are you doing?
Hey, Zeus, how are you?
I'm all right.
Listen, maybe it's me that's confused, but maybe you can help me out.
Mm-hmm.
If Joe Biden is having problems over here trying to get stuff right, what makes people think he can go to a whole nother country and make them folks do what he say?
I can't speak for those people.
I'm going to be honest. It confuses me when they say they don't like the way he handling things and he's not doing everything he can. What they want the man to do? Go over there and stand in front of the bullets and say, I'm a sacrifice for this and say these people or say those people. What can he do? that he's not doing, Zeus?
I don't know. I think he's done an outstanding job not getting us into it. I'll tell you that much.
That's what I'm saying. We're not even over there in it, but they look like they want him to get on the front line, bring our servicemen with them, and fight this for them. Like Straight Facts said, this ain't just started happening. So what's with the outrage all of a sudden? Where's the years of outrage as it's been going on for decades? Where was the outrage then? But now all of a sudden it's all on Joe Biden.
Ain't that funny?
I'm sick of it.
The economy is on Joe Biden. Any issue, inflation, Trump's trials, all Joe Biden's fault. Isn't that something? The
Zeus,
protest, Joe Biden.
I had to cancel my physical therapy appointment. I guess that's on Joe Biden too.
Wow, that's pretty.
Since everything is on Joe Biden, they're not going to give him credit for anything he's doing. They can see the numbers. They're going to act like they don't. And they just want him to look bad. These young people better try to wake up and realize they're being used. Their minds are being subjected where they can be so mad at Joe Biden, they don't vote for him. And then Linky Cheek's going to get back in. And then it's going to be the worst mistake they can make. But it's going to be too late to say, uh-oh.
So two things. One, how do you feel about the protest stopping traffic? All right, how do you feel about that? And I hear in some cases folks can't get to class. What are your thoughts on this? Is it helping the cause or is it making matters a little more complicated?
It's not helping the cause. It's starting more and more confusion. Because like Straight Facts said, people got to get to work. It might be a lady in an ambulance in labor. It might be somebody that need to get to the emergency room quick, fast, and in a hurry to save their life. And you standing out there calling yourself protesting. And these people could be dying in traffic or anything. Find somewhere to protest, but don't block off no streets and stop traffic up. That don't make no sense to me.
To me, I thought it might not be helping their cause, right?
It's not. How is it helping, Zeus?
And I just put myself in their shoes. I mean, have you ever had to use the restroom? I mean, I know that's not as big as someone having labor, but if you in traffic and it's hot outside and
let me tell you something, Zeus. I was on that metformin for about a week, right?
Yeah.
Baby, I had to go pick my grandbaby up from school. The school is 3 minutes away, Zeus. By the time I walked up to the car, my stomach said, rumple.
Oh!
I was driving like I was in the Indy 500 raceway.
Oh, my.
So I can only imagine if somebody medication get them the loose booty and they got to use the bathroom and you out there stopping them folks.
Yeah. I mean, and be honest, when you at that level, you got to go. You don't care about nothing else, do you?
Let me tell you something.
You start sweating and everything. Get out of my... And these folks are putting people in this position out there. I said, oh, my God.
Zeus, it's only so much squeezing of the cheeks you can do. Before they take over and say, no, baby, open sesame.
I'm done with you.
There's only so many butt muscles you got that's going to work in that situation.
So you just gonna do it? You just gonna do it right there?
Man, you just gonna have to be Donald Trump. You just gonna have to let it all out and depend.
I'm done.
You depend on the pins. You're gonna have to just depend on your panties to hold up.
Lord have mercy. You're right. I mean, I can't speak to it or not, right? But that's the first thing that came to my mind. I said, oh my God. Those poor people in those cars. Not everybody got air conditioner. When it gets hot, you start sweating. You can't even turn the air conditioner. Oh, Lord, am I going today? And then the cops...
But Zeus, these children are so strong-willed and their minds are so strong. You really can't tell them nothing. They think they know everything until they don't know. And then that's when they want you to come in and save them.
Yeah.
The parents need to sit down, talk to their kids. Stop telling them it's political. And sit down and give them some history and give them some understanding.
Amen.
So if they want to protest, that's fine. But they need to really know what's really going on. Not based on your feelings, but based on the actual truth.
And I'll add this. Would they be doing it if we took their cell phone away? I've heard a lot of people talking about that.
Man, let me tell you something. If you say no cell phones, no tablets, no nothing to do with social media or anything and stand out here and protest, baby, the class will be full.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I knew that I could go protest and get 1 million views, and then that 1 million views can be converted in some cold hard cash,
You gonna do
it. I'm just being honest with you.
You're going shopping when you leave there.
Oh!
Your mind ain't gonna be on Hamas and Israel and nothing else, baby. You just gonna be shopping and going back the next day to make you some more money.
Yeah. I'm complaining about air conditioning. Who is this? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why, Margarita. Because if you've ever had to do a number 2, you know it gets hot, right? And you imagine you're sitting in a car and it's 100 degrees outside.
With no air, and you got to ride with your window down.
Yeah, Margarita. And you telling me while you stuck in traffic, you ain't gonna want to hit that air conditioning button to cool off while your stomach is rumbling and about to blow up and explode, and you got a car full of people, Margarita? Knock it out. Knock it off.
Of course she is.
Real battlefield
out,
stories.
Margarita.
Yeah, these are real battlefield
And she don't want a
stories.
margarita.
Oh my God. Yeah, that belly is bubbling. Okay,
But that's
all right.
what I wanted to say, Zeus, that I don't understand what they think, what kind of powers they think Joe Biden has when he's limited in power in their own country that he's the commander-in-chief of.
Amen. Tell them, Takesha. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I mean, these are the conversations we got to keep trying to have while we're in the thick of the election, all right? This is really what's going on in America, folks, whether you like it or not.
Right.
All
right, Zeus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Takesha a round of applause. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm well past my scheduled time slot, and I'm so sorry, but Zeus does have to get up out of here. It doesn't mean I love you any less, ladies and gentlemen. What a show. You all deserve a round of applause. This is why we do these shows. It's not just about what's going on with Donald Trump. It's really to have these conversations. And so people out there that don't get to keep up with what's really going on out here, they get an opportunity to at least hear perspectives that they don't traditionally hear. That's why I try not to always block and ban people, especially people who we know are just terrible individuals, because there's something out there in terms of having this kind of dialogue that will help, I actually believe, help people who aren't able to keep up with what's going on. It'll help them when they go and vote to say, you know what, I think Joe Biden might just be the better person, because, I see how these Trump supporters are acting, right? And so that's why we do what we do over here. And I want to, first of all, give a round of applause to all of the panelists, to all of the subscribers, to all of the gifters and the moderators. You all, once again, have done an outstanding job keeping this show exciting, engaging, and entertaining. I really couldn't do this without you, even those of you in the audience, all right? But you know what we got to do? One final round of booze and shame for the Zeus haters out there. These are our critics. These are our detractors. These people continuously get onto social media and peddle misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin, while at the same time simultaneously spreading hate, evil, fake outrage, fake Christians, fake patriotism on behalf of Donald J. Trump. These are the worst of the worst. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving them our final rounds of booze and shame. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe. Today's the 30th, tomorrow's the 1st. So then that means Thursday, actually, I get my main account back, ladies and gentlemen. So tomorrow will be my last day on this account. Be sure to follow my main account, all right? And in the meantime and in between time, take care, all right?
Who's always most handsome in the kingdom?
And I really am the most handsome, whether you like it or not. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. Let's go! This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. All right, Valerie, I see you. Lady Rima, let's go. Cece. Little hug, yeah, babe. Great show, yeah. We went in and out today, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it goes. I make my own rules. I'm a guy, call me Zeus. I'm flyer than an eagle, they got bread on me too. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you Jackie. Thank you, Flo Girl. Thank you, Jeffrey. Yazzie, I'm surprised you're still here. You know, sometimes you gotta, go to the farm. Wear green in support of women's rights. May 1st, 12 noon. Go live. All right, TJ. Rick, I see ya. Cali Love. It's in and out. Okay, I knew it was Yazzie. Jan, nice to see you. Lady Rima, Mrs. Bees, I see you. Laura, Mrs. Silk, I see you. Queen Lee, I saw you, Mrs. Silk. Derek Cooper, I'll continue to do. Bring the uncompromising truth. Nathan's mom, thank you. All right, Chris, I see you. Garvin, thank you. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. You know that. Bama, you're welcome. All right, Rio, nice to see you. Tiffany Ann, I see you. RN Loading, Blue 24, thank you, Mystica. See you. All right, Della Bailey. All right, later. Play around with love and you're guaranteed to lose. I didn't make the game of rules, so don't play me like a fool. If you can't swim, G-Fat MC, nice to see you. All right, Vicky Sully, have a great one. All right, I will. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. Hey, got it. Let's go. I tried to be patient, but you had to like my fuse. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Have a great rest of your... You know I'm so handsome. I'll keep doing the work. You got my word. And I appreciate all of you. All right, Rick, you too. Everything's fine. You're welcome. Laura, nice to see you. Queen Flea, nice to see you. Slick and Rick. Brian, knock it off. Here he goes.
I just want to find.
Oh my gosh, look at the time, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
780 loves.
And that'll get you
one more than we have.
And that'll get you to Rico. Right there, that phone call. You said it was perfect. All right, it'll get you Rico. Miss B, thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit him with the Jack Smith remix. Reggie, where you at?
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
Here it goes.
Donald Trump is indicted and they take
one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. All right.
And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
All right. Now we got to drop the bomb. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right. You ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care and stay safe.